for joining me for another Local Insights video from Garrington Property Finders. The property market in Rutland and the East Midlands have been enjoying somewhat of a resurgence over the last year, with price growth outperforming most parts of the UK. Well, to discuss this and many other interesting trends about the region is Kate Vincent from the Garrington team. Hello, Kate. Lovely to see you.
Hello, Catherine. How are you today?
Good, thank you very much. So, as the rest of the UK, the lockdown effectively froze the property market for many weeks. But since the easing of measures and the reopening of the market in England, what's been happening locally in your area?
Well, it was a bit of a slow start to the release from lockdown, so there was a bit of frustration there. But actually, 2 or 3 weeks in, the market is back up and running, and generally it's resumed as it was before lockdown.
So, Kate, there's been a lot of talk of Londoners heading for pastures new. Have you seen much evidence of this?
There has been some evidence of it, and you're right, there has been quite a lot of talk locally about, whether we're going to see a flood of people moving to the countryside. There's probably been more of a trickle. We've known in this area that it's a fantastic place to be based if you want to commute to London. You can get into King's Cross from Peterborough within 47 minutes, so it's a very fast and very efficient train line into town. But I think, as I say, it generally has been just a few people coming to that conclusion. This said, I was actually recently contacted by a couple who had been successfully self-isolating out of London and have now come to the conclusion that they can easily work from home and really don't want to go back into the city. So in fact, they got on the phone to me and said, yeah, we're really keen to find something as soon as possible so we don't have to return. And I'm pleased to say 4 weeks on, we've competed in a competitive bid situation, and we're on the way to purchasing a wonderful country property up here.
That's fantastic news. Do you think that's going to be the norm for lots more people, thinking that's the way forward now?
I think, it's horses for courses. Of course, I'm sure we all think more people are going to work from home, but, living in London, living in the countryside are very different things. And if you're a city person through and through, probably sort of sleepy Stamford, even with all its beautiful buildings and pubs and restaurants and everything else, may not be everyone's cup of tea.
And as somebody on the front line of the market every day, Kate, how are you finding things in terms of viewings and working with sales agents who had little notice to reopen?
Well, a lot of the very big agents actually carried on working throughout the lockdown period. But the smaller ones, of course, furloughed quite a lot of staff. And I am hearing that there's a bit of reluctance to sort of unfurlough people. So it does mean that the few people who are working on the front line, they're extremely busy. And so it makes it harder to get our questions answered. Arranging viewings and things like that is probably difficult, or more difficult than it used to be. And certainly there's a sort of priority is given to those people who are fully able to proceed and have their sort of ducks in order. So, if you're going to be looking, make sure you're ready, prepared, and able to act, and then you'll get the ear of the agents.
Brilliant. Now, I can't let you go without asking about what everybody wants to know at the moment. What is happening with prices?
So prices have actually stayed remarkably stable in this area. Agents are telling me that they're accepting around 5% discounts off asking price, but that's very typical of what you would expect in this market or this area. There are examples of a few properties selling for considerably less, but generally those are the properties which were overpriced in the first place.
Thank you, Kate, for covering so many interesting points. If you would like to know more about the property market in this area, or indeed discuss your own property requirements, please do get in touch following the links shared with this video. Thank you so much for watching.